Here's your General Hospital recap on what happened in Port Charles today, Monday, July 14th, 2025. At his WSB office, Jack left a voicemail for Carly as Jocelyn and Vaughn arrived. Vaughn told Brennan he was right to be worried about Anna and filled him in on her pointed questioning at the brown dog. He definitely felt Anna was onto them. They felt Emma bought their act, but Anna probably didn't. Brennan expected Anna would be looking into Vaughn. Even if his record was clean, Brennan said it would pique Anna's interest and raise red flags. He said Anna was one of the sharpest, shrewdest, and cunning agents he's ever worked with, and anticipated she was about to make things more difficult for them. Brennan got a phone call, which confirmed Anna was already asking for a background check on Vaughn. Brennan felt they had to go all in to try to fool Anna, and told Joss and Vaughn they were going to have to play the most convincing couple the town had ever seen. The info from Dalton's phone indicated 0 digital communications, which meant Dalton wasn't updating anyone electronically, and there had to be a messenger between Dalton and his employer. Brennan wanted to find out who that messenger was. At her apartment, Anna was on the phone ordering a background check on S. Vaughn when Felicia arrived. Outback came out with one of Anna's dress shoes in his mouth. Emma and Gio came in right after Anna finally wrestled her shoe out of Outback's mouth. Emma told her not to worry because she would replace Anna's shoes. Anna said she bought those vintage shoes when on assignment in Milan before Emma was even born, and they were irreplaceable. Not wanting to hang around for the awkwardness, Gio said he had to get to work, and they needed to leave. On his way out, he grabbed the toaster pastry out of the toaster. When Anna told him that it was her breakfast, he said sorry and offered it back to her with a bite out of it. She told him to keep it. Emma forçou to put another one in the toaster, but Anna said it was the last one. Anna sat and wondered how this was her life now. As she and Felicia talked, Anna said she was worried Emma might be in trouble. She said Vaughn acted too perfectly, and she didn't like the age gap. Felicia offered a counter-opinion and said Vaughn may be a good guy. But Anna suspected he was a good spy living his best cover, which is why she was running a background check on him. Felicia said she might be acting like an overprotective grandma, but Anna said when she found out Vaughn worked in the facilities department at PCU in proximity to Dalton, both her agent and grandma skills kicked in. She wondered if Vaughn had anything to do with what happened in California, and definitely felt that Emma and Dalton both ending up at PCU was not a coincidence. Later, Anna got a call saying Vaughn's record was squeaky clean, which immediately made her more suspicious. Michael met with Carly and Sunny at Carly's house. He wanted to talk to them about Sasha and Daisy leaving town because someone was targeting Daisy. Sunny automatically assumed it was someone who had a problem with him, but Carly said it could be someone who had a problem with all of them, like Drew. Michael believed Drew couldn't get past security, and it must be a professional. Sunny went on to say there were no coincidences in his work, so it had to be someone targeting him. Carly felt the whole thing was crazy. She understood Sasha would be scared, but wanted Michael to stop her from leaving, reminding him he had rights too. Michael said he could stop it, but he didn't want to. Sunny offered to get round-the-clock protection for all of them, but Michael said he had already offered that. As they were encouraging him to keep Sasha from leaving, Michael told them to stop. He said, after everything Sasha had been through, she deserved peace and not bodyguards or fear. She deserved a peaceful life with Daisy, and he wanted to give her that. They hated it, but promised to stay strong for whatever he needed. He said Sasha was going to take Daisy for her routine checkup and vaccinations, and Jason would take them to their destination from there. "We got you. We got you," Carly assured him. Michael warned they were about to have to brace for the next battle for Wiley and Amelia, because Drew and Willow were obviously going to use their marriage as a way to get custody back. He said if he lost Wiley and Amelia, there would be nothing left for him, and he could not lose custody. Isaiah greeted Willow, who was chipper until she saw Lucas walk around the corner. She remarked there was no way Dr. Jones would let her work with him today. Isaiah assured her she was an excellent nurse, and, despite whatever was going on, Lucas would be able to see that too. With a brief pause, Lucas approached Willow and told her he needed tests run for the patient in Trauma 3 ASAP. As Willow was walking off, Isaiah stopped and said the three of them were going to have to work together today, and whatever was going on between the two of them had to stop. He told them they needed to clear the air now and find a way to be cordial. Lucas agreed with Isaiah, but said he and Willow were on opposite sides of a very contentious family matter. Willow said, "Contentious? Your sister and nephew stole my kids. You can't possibly support that." Lucas said he made his position clear on Christmas when he asked her not to take Wiley away from Michael. He went on to say how much he loved Wiley and wanted what was best for them, which meant not being around Drew Kane. Willow disagreed, but stopped and said for the sake of their patients and staff, they needed to keep their personal issues outside of the hospital. Lucas agreed and apologized for being cold and standoffish earlier. They both agreed to do better. Later, Lucas was dressed and ready to leave for the service, and was concerned Maarco hadn't answered him back. Willow thanked Isaiah for intervening earlier. Willow said Lucas wasn't the man she wanted to fight. Michael was. She said Michael wasn't just punishing her by keeping the kids, but he was also punishing the kids as well. She admitted to making mistakes, but said all she did was follow her heart, which led her to Drew. She and Drew were going to be married soon and be able to provide a loving, stable home. Whereas Michael would be a divorced dad who had kids from 3 different women, she felt he would look much worse on paper than she ever could. Isaiah was taken aback to hear her talk this way. Willow said she knew she sounded harsh, but Michael drove her to act like that and drove her to all of it, again flashing back to Daisy's nursery. Later, Willow saw Michael, Sasha, and Daisy arrive at the hospital for Daisy's checkup. At the Metro Court pool, Sasha was lounging by the pool with Daisy. Danny came by to say hi and check on them. Later, as Sasha was getting ready to leave with Daisy, Rocco came up to say hi. He found the way she was talking to Daisy interesting and asked Sasha if babies recognized their mother's voices. She said she didn't know, but imagined if the mother talked to them in the womb for 9 months, they probably would. Rocco wondered how many moms did stuff like that. Professor Dalton came for a swim and asked Danny for a towel. Rocco brought more towels and updated Danny about what he found out about Britt. Rocco said Jason felt Britt was a good person by the time she died. He doesn't want to upset his parents by talking to them about it too much, but he still had questions he wanted answered. When Danny asked how he was going to be able to get more information about Britt, Rocco told him he emailed her mom, Liesel Obrecht. Irritated and rude, Dalton interrupted them from his chair, telling them he wanted his towels. He scolded them, saying they should be paying more attention to their job and not socializing. Later, when Dalton got out of the pool, he found Outback sitting on his chair. He called Danny and Rocco over to complain about the dog and the overall poor service. Gio came up to ask what the problem was. Dalton said he wanted to speak to the owner because he thought Danny and Rocco needed to lose their jobs. Emma came up to apologize for her dog and for breaking the no pets policy. She offered to make up for the inconvenience by volunteering at his office to help him take care of things. He said he and Jocelyn could use the extra hand. Gio, Rocco, and Danny thought Emma shouldn't work for Dalton, but she said she wanted to because she needed access to his work and files. She said he was a bad guy who had been experimenting on animals, and she needed to get enough evidence to finally bring him down. Maarco sat in his Metro Court hotel room, reading the Aurora news story on his phone, when Lucas sent multiple texts which he did not answer. Alexis came to offer her sincere condolences and told him, no matter what he thought, Sonny did not kill his mother. She pointed out, as a lawyer, Maarco would see the Aurora story was all innuendo and no facts. Alexis understood all too well what it felt like to need to blame someone, but said it could only make things worse. Maarco was irritated thinking Alexis's only reason for coming was to protect her daughter's father, but she told him she was there because he saved her daughter's life, which she wouldn't ever forget, and also felt he deserved the truth, not lies and accusations. Rom, a clickbait article. When Maarco asked why she was sure Sonny didn't kill his mother, she said, "Because I know him, good and bad. I know what he is capable of, and I know what he is not. And he did not, would not hurt your mother, nor would he hurt you or Blaze. Because, believe it or not, family may be the only thing that means anything to him." Before she left, She told him to take all the time he needed and not hesitate to ask for anything. After she left, he received another text from Lucas, but did not answer. Later, Carly met Lucas in front of Maarco's hotel room. Lucas was panicked because Maarco hadn't responded to any of his calls or texts and didn't show up to the church. When they went into the room, Maarco wasn't there. Next, Maarco was shown locked in a strange room. He was knocking at the door, telling whoever put him there that they were making a mistake. Jason came around the corner to hear Maarco asking for help through the door. Earlier, Lucy was sitting at the church in front of Natalia's casket when Sidwell arrived. Lucy let him know she was there because she was his friend, and it was a hard day. They both saw the Port Charles press story about Sonny and Natalia, and Lucy offered her help with anything he needed. Sidwell was concerned if Maarco didn't get the answers he needed about Natalia's death, his son would never find any peace. Lucy said she did not believe the Aurora story at all, and couldn't imagine Sonny killing Natalia. Sidwell said it was too early to dismiss any possibilities, and who was to say what really happened at this point? He did not want Maarco to be haunted for the rest of his life, though. Lucy offered to see if she could use her connections to get the story pulled. Later, after his swim at the pool, Dalton arrived at the church to meet Sidwell, who was not happy that he was late. Going straight to the point, Sidwell told him their mutual friend was growing impatient, and neither of them was happy about Dalton's progress. The mystery friend was going to send a courier next week to get some answers about what was taking Dalton so long. He told Dalton that if he didn't have answers, there would be hell to pay. After Dalton left, Sidwell stood over Natalia's casket and said he hoped she found the peace in death that life rarely afforded her and promised to take good care of Maarco. When Sonny came into the church, Sidwell thought it was Maarco until he turned around. Sonny told him Maarco wasn't coming. Lulu asked Jason to come by her house. She started by saying she was too harsh when she ran into him leaving the other day. Jason admitted it would have been better to ask her and Dante before he talked to Rocco about Britt. This whole thing, it just brings up a lot of painful memories for me. I couldn't conceive, and then my doctor, Britt, who I trusted with my body and my family's future, she stole an embryo from me. It was a really dark time for me, for both of us. After Britt's schemes and lies, Lulu wanted to know how Jason could paint such a positive picture of Britt to Rocco. He said he was just telling the truth, but Lulu reminded him it was his truth because her experiences with Britt were way different. He said he knew a different Britt, but his opinion of her doesn't erase what she did to Lulu. He felt that if he had to accept Lulu's version of Britt, then she had to accept his version existed too. Lulu begrudgingly told Jason she would listen to what he had to say about Britt, but didn't expect anything would change her mind. He said even Britt wouldn't expect her to change her mind because Britt knew what she did to Lulu and Dante was horrible. Jason said Britt changed in a way that mattered. He couldn't change how he hurt Britt when he married Carly, but he could make sure people knew her story, the good and the bad. When Lulu said she didn't want to know about the good, Jason told her, "But Rocco does." Lulu admitted she knew Jason didn't mean any harm, but the positive version of Britt he shared with Rocco undermined the version of events she and Dante shared with Rocco. Jason said he realized that, and he wasn't going to talk with Rocco again about Britt. Lulu was worried Rocco was already pulling away from her. Jason said she and Dante were great parents, and Rocco was a great kid. She just needed to trust Rocco to see how much they both loved him. She felt that was the exact right thing to say to make her feel better. He apologized for making things more complicated for Rocco, and she apologized for lashing out, saying her anger was misplaced. Later, Alexis came by to get Lulu's take on the hit piece Aurora ran on Sonny. She said Lulu may not be involved with the story now, but if she agreed to help her, she might be. Alexis asked her to find out who wrote the hit piece on Sonny. Alexis felt Lulu, as a reporter, could approach Curtis peer-to-peer. Lulu told Alexis she owed her family everything, and of course, she would help. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Welcome to the General Hospital Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, Recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Hey, General Hospital fans! Did you know that Willow is the victim and Michael is the villain? That's right. The girl who initiated that first kiss with her husband's uncle last 4th of July, before having sex with him on the playroom floor on Halloween, is the innocent flower here. Sure, she made a few tiny mistakes here and there, but she happened to fall in love, so that makes everything okay. She can't help her feelings for her husband's uncle. So what if she was married and acted on them and then lied to cover it all up? She was clearly entitled to do that because she was in love, and that was all that mattered. Even Isaiah was surprised to hear how fiercely Willow blamed Michael for everything. Willow just claimed Michael drove her to it, and that was that. She even flashed back to taking Daisy from her crib, believing she had every right to do so because Michael made her do it. And Drew? Well, he loves her and is the only man who has ever truly supported and respected her in the wacky world, according to Willow. Has Willow always been this nuts, and we are just seeing it now? Or did she really snap the moment the judge handed her kids to Michael? Well, considering she's just gone from one cult to another, we are willing to bet this has always been our Willow. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full GH recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Here is your General Hospital spoiler sneak peek video for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Drew can't stop being a menace and seems to take glee in making people's lives miserable. Like Willow, he seems to think he is the victim and everyone owes him something. He also wants to take anything he believes he is owed. He seems to think he can threaten his way to Willow being able to see her children. That is what he does with Carly when he warns her that Michael better learn to compromise or he is going to be very, very sorry. Will Carly wonder what she ever saw in this awful, awful man? As for Michael, he gives Willow some news that shows the last thing he wants to do is compromise. Willow is horrified by what Michael has to tell her. Will this set her off even more? She has been stalking Daisy to get back at Michael. How will Michael's nutty ex-wife react when she realizes that all she managed to do was drive Sasha out of town? She seems obsessed with Daisy and might try to locate Sasha and Michael's other child. Sidwell is surprised to see Sonny show up at Natalia's memorial. He learns that Maarco is a little tied up and won't be able to make it, but Sonny might have a deal ready for Sidwell. Sonny informs Sidwell that he can solve all of Maarco's problems since he is the one who caused them. Will Sidwell be able to convince Sonny that he has not been purposely going after his children and everything is all just an unfortunate misunderstanding? While Sonny and Sidwell battle it out inside the church, Lucas has words with Jason outside. He warns Jason that if anything happens to Maarco, there will be blood on his hands. As for Maarco, he remains locked in a warehouse, but he thinks he has a pretty good idea who took him. Alexis tried to get him to trust Sonny, but that's never going to happen now. The quiet stability of Port Charles has been shattered by the bombshell arrival of a woman whose name was long forgotten, but whose bloodline is undeniable. As the town prepares for a somber farewell to the ailing Monica Quartermain, the appearance of her long-lost, presumed dead older sister has ignited a firestorm, threatening to consume the family's legacy in a war of secrets, betrayal, and revenge. The mysterious woman, whose role is rumored to be played by Erica Slezak, carries herself with a quiet command that has the town buzzing. Decades ago, she was erased from the Quartermain family history, banished after a tragic boating accident that killed a cousin. While she was blamed and sent away, the family, eager to protect its reputation, buried the scandal so deep it nearly vanished. Now she has returned, and not a moment too soon. With Monica's health failing, a power vacuum has opened, and this rediscovered sister has come to claim her share. She is not alone. Accompanying her is her son, Sebastian, a magnetic and enigmatic surgeon with a checkered past. Implicated in a European scandal involving illegal medical procedures, Sebastian has arrived with a pristine resume and a clear ambition to take Monica's coveted position at General Hospital. The conflict erupted immediately. Tracy Quartermain, the family's fierce defender, instantly smelled a con, viewing the pair as opportunistic vultures circling her dying sister. The battle lines were drawn when the sister produced a revised draft of Monica's will, naming her as a partial heir to the estate. Tracy declared it a fraud, launching an all-out war to protect the family's assets. But the foundation of Tracy's crusade crumbled with a shocking discovery. Hidden in Monica's study, a cassette tape was found containing a chilling confession from Monica herself. In the recording, she admits that she, not her sister, was responsible for the childhood accident that tore their family apart. Consumed by fear, a young Monica remained silent while her sister was wrongly accused and disowned. This revelation changes everything. The sister is no longer just an estranged relative. She is a victim holding the ultimate proof of a decades-long injustice. Armed with this truth, she has launched a full-scale assault, demanding not only her inheritance, but a reckoning for the family's history of manipulation and elitism. As Monica's memorial approaches, the event has transformed from a solemn tribute into a public battlefield. In a final, stunning twist, Monica's last request was that her long-lost sister deliver the eulogy. Tracy's attempts to block her have failed, and now this woman holds the power to speak Monica's final words to a captivated audience. What secrets will be unleashed from the podium? Is this a story of redemption or a calculated demolition of a dynasty? As Port Charles holds its breath, one thing is certain. General Hospital spoilers hint that Victor Cassadine could be alive and serving as Professor Henry Hank Dalton's mystery boss. Let's talk about some important clues that could point to a major Cassadine comeback. In the July 14th episode, Professor Dalton secretly met with Gen Z Sidwell, who warned that their mutual friend was growing impatient. Sidwell has also invested in Dalton's work, so he's just as displeased over the lack of progress. However, the way Sidwell was talking implied there's a bigger mystery boss at the center of all this. Sidwell indicated that he would be sending a courier to get some answers, and added that there'd be hell to pay if Dalton couldn't offer any. The person running the show here is obviously a male character, and someone to be feared. Victor would check both of those boxes, so maybe we should consider the possibility that his grim fate didn't stick. Although GH fans saw Victor's dead body after all the chaos in Greenland, it could have been a fake-out. Maybe a realistic mask was involved, or perhaps a clone, since there have been hints about Professor Dalton's storyline having something to do with cloning. Regardless, Victor may have survived somehow and could be gearing up for a new story arc. Is Victor the impatient mutual friend that Sidwell was referring to? The timing seems right, considering how obsessed Victor was with Liesl Obrecht, who's on her way back to the show along with Britt Westbourne. That is if Seabode's character turns out to be the real deal. Of course, we can't ignore Sidwell's interest in the Cassadines either. Sidwell planted himself at Windermere and stirred up all that dagger drama for Alexis Davis as well, so it just seems like he might have some sort of Cassadine connection. Whatever the case, GH writers are laying the groundwork for a big reveal. There's clearly a male villain who's about to enter the picture, and it could be someone familiar to fans since the show's being so cryptic. Do you think Professor Dalton is working for Victor Cassadine? Is Sidwell helping Victor put some fear in Dalton and try to get some results on his top-secret project? General Hospital spoilers update for Tuesday, July 15th reveals that Michael Corinthos will infuriate Willow Tate, while Sasha Gilmore Corbin's news shocks Nina Reeves. Sonny Corinthos will also try to force Gen Z Sidwell into a deal for Maarco Rios' freedom, so there'll be a lot happening in Port Charles. First on Tuesday's GH episode, Tracy Quartermain will present a proposal. We'll see Tracy offer up a new idea, but those usually lead to trouble whenever Tracy's involved. Speaking of trouble, Maarco has landed in some now that Jason Morgan has kidnapped him for Sonny. While Maarco continues to call out for help, Jason will leave him locked up and await further instructions. At the church, Sonny will have an advantage over Sidwell, who'll fume over Maarco's snatching. Sidwell may toss some threats around, but Sonny will think he's holding all the cards since Maarco is at his mercy. Although Sidwell may go along with Sonny's demands for Maarco's sake, there's no guarantee any deal they strike will stick. Sidwell could easily retaliate once Maarco walks free, so Sonny will be playing with fire. As for Lucas Jones, he'll confront Jason over Maarco's abduction and warn about the dangers of escalation. Since Lucas will worry about Maarco or someone else getting killed, he'll insist Jason will be partly to blame if that happens. Over with Drew Kane, he'll clash with Carly Spencer and make some ominous comments about Michael. Since Michael isn't willing to compromise with Willow, Drew will promise that Michael's going to find himself miserable in the end. At the hospital, Willow will have a run-in with Michael, Sasha, and little Daisy Gilmore. The tension will really explode once Willow faces an awful shocker that could affect her chances of getting the kids back. It's possible that Willow's recent Wiley Corinthos encounter will be used against her. Michael is determined to keep Willow from making any visitation or custody progress, so an official complaint or even a restraining order might be involved. Back with Sasha, she'll meet up with Nina and presumably offer updates on her decision to leave town with Daisy. Sasha's announcement should come as a surprise to Nina as they say their goodbyes. Of course, there could also be some talk about Willow and how far off the rails her life has gone. Even if Sasha doesn't suspect Willow is behind the strange Daisy-related incidents, could Nina develop a hunch? General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal Sophia Matson is currently involved in a major storyline with Sasha, Michael Corinthos, and their baby on GH. Get updates on the latest General Hospital news straight to your inbox. However, fans are speculating that she might be departing from the show. Could there be any validity to the rumors suggesting she's leaving ABC to join The Young and the Restless? Sasha has recently welcomed her daughter, Daisy Celeste Gilmore. Initially, she identified Jason Morgan as the father, but later had to admit that Michael is the true dad. Sasha and Michael had a brief encounter after he discovered that Willow Tate was entangled in a passionate affair with Drew Kane. During Sasha's pregnancy, Michael was in Germany recuperating from burn injuries. He learned about her pregnancy, and while Jason was aware, no one else knew he was the father until it was revealed during his custody dispute with Willow. Sasha went into labor while on the stand and gave birth to a baby girl named Daisy. After Daisy's arrival, things began to take a strange turn. Small incidents occurred that led people to question Sasha's sanity. However, it was discovered that someone was stalking Daisy and manipulating Sasha into believing she was losing her grip on reality. Fans speculated that the stalker could be Jen Sidwell, Drew, or perhaps a not-so-dead Britt Westbourne. Actress Kelly Theobald has been confirmed to return to the show soon, but it remains unclear whether she will reprise her roles as Britt or portray a new character. Ultimately, the stalker was revealed to be Willow. Previously, fans had speculated that Willow might attempt to kidnap Daisy as revenge for losing custody. Sophia Matson has portrayed Sasha on the ABC soap since 2018, and currently, the Sasha-Willow-Michael storyline is one of the most prominent arcs on GH. Although the storyline is still unfolding, there are growing rumors online suggesting that Sophia Matson may be departing from the show. These rumors stem from claims that she has not renewed her contract with the series. Recently, Sasha expressed to Michael her desire to leave town in order to protect Daisy. If Sasha and the baby do leave, will it be a temporary situation or a permanent departure? The actress has not addressed the speculation regarding her exit from the soap. However, it is common for GH to refrain from confirming departures until just before the actor's final appearance, in order to maintain the secrecy of the storyline. It would be a very unfortunate time, in terms of the story, for Sophia Matson to exit the ABC soap. They would probably have no option but to find someone else for the role. Soap fans have already begun to guess where the actress might go next if she does leave the ABC soap. Soap writer Alan Sarahapa shared on X, previously known as Twitter, that Sophia Matson would be an ideal recast for Summer on The Young and the Restless. She wouldn't be the first soap star to switch from one network to CBS recently. Billy Flynn moved from Duel to take on the role of Kane Ashby on Y&R. Another soap fan proposed that Sophia Matson could play Claire Brady on Days of Our Lives. Do you believe the rumors about her departure from GH are accurate? For over a year since his dramatic return to the canvas, Jason Morgan has been a man alone. Port Charles's most enigmatic enforcer has remained romantically unattached, creating a void that has left devoted viewers speculating. Despite a dangerous career path, Jason's rugged appeal and unexpected moral compass have made him an irresistible, yet untouchable figure. That is all about to change. Spoilers for the week of July 14th to 18 promise a seismic shift in Jason's world. During what seems to be a routine moment at an airport, Jason spots a familiar figure in the terminal, and his famously stoic demeanor shatters into a mix of confusion, disbelief, and desperate hope. This encounter couldn't come at a more crucial time. Since his return, Jason's love life has been a series of near misses. A reunion with his legendary super couple, half, Sam McCall, was impossible. Her heart now belongs to Dante Falconeri, and her tragic passing sealed the fate of just Sam forever. An attempted pairing with Anna Devane was quickly abandoned after negative fan feedback, largely due to the uncomfortable dynamic of pursuing his ex-love, Robin Scorpio Drake's mother. Fleeting moments with Sasha Corbin only highlighted Jason's isolation rather than offering real connection. But the name now whispered among insiders sends shockwaves through the fan community. Dr. Britt Westbourne. The relationship between Jason and Britt was one of the most chemically charged and emotionally compelling pairings in recent memory. Their connection featured a genuine depth and sizzling chemistry that many fans argued rivaled even the iconic Jasam. They were two complex characters who understood each other's darkness and light. Her tragic death in early 2020 at the hands of The Hook, Heather Weber, robbed viewers of an extraordinary love story just as it was beginning to deepen. It was a devastating end to a fan-favorite romance. Now, a resurrection seems tantalizingly possible. Recent episodes have strategically mentioned Britt, and with other characters returning to the canvas, the writers appear to be setting the stage for the ultimate comeback. The airport encounter promises to be a masterclass in emotional storytelling. Whether the figure Jason sees is truly Britt, perhaps suffering from amnesia or having been in hiding, or a cruel look-alike, the impact on Jason will be profound. Jason Morgan's character has been adrift, desperately in need of a substantial romantic storyline to anchor his emotional journey. A reunion with Britt Westbourne would be the very definition of a soap opera miracle, delivering the kind of high-stakes, passionate drama that has been missing from his story and could reinvigorate Port Charles for months to come. Port Charles has been shaken to its core as new revelations surrounding Natalia's tragic death come to light. What began as a quiet memorial has unraveled into a scandal involving deception, corruption, and a deepening mystery. As the town mourned, dark forces moved behind the scenes, threatening to destroy lives and rewrite the truth. In the days leading up to Natalia's memorial, tensions ran high. While many mourned her loss, not everyone believed the official cause of death, a tragic accident. Behind closed doors, Sidney Sidwell, a man consumed by grief and bitterness, plotted revenge. His target, Sonny Corinthos, a well-known figure in Port Charles. Drew Kane, despite his reservations, became entangled in Sidwell's plan. Sidwell aimed to frame Sonny for Natalia's death, using falsified autopsy reports and bribing the medical examiner to declare she was poisoned. He pressured Drew to provide false testimony, implicating Sonny near Natalia's home before her death. But the plot took an unexpected turn when Drew's young daughter, Scout Kane, overheard everything. Recognizing Sonny as a kind presence in her life, Scout bravely took matters into her own hands. She warned Sonny before the memorial, triggering a chain of events that exposed Sidwell's sinister scheme. At the memorial, Sidwell's trap was ready to spring. With mourners gathered, the corrupted medical examiner announced suspicions of poisoning. Sidwell publicly pointed a finger at Sonny, implicating him through Drew. However, Sonny, backed by Anna Devane, Mayor Laura Collins, and Jason Morgan, had prepared for the confrontation. As Sidwell made his accusation, Jason played a damning recording. Sidwell's own voice detailing the bribery and plot to frame Sonny. The church erupted in chaos. Sidwell was arrested on the spot, his elaborate lie collapsing in front of the entire town. Drew was left haunted by guilt, realizing it was his daughter's courage, not his, that stopped an innocent man from being destroyed. Though Sidwell's plan was exposed, the mystery surrounding Natalia's death only deepened. Investigations revealed troubling clues: manipulated toxicology reports, secret cash deposits, and suspicious communications through burner phones. Anna, Jason, and Laura uncovered evidence that Natalia had been fearful before her death, leaving behind secret voice recordings. She suspected she was being watched, threatened, and poisoned over time. Her hidden files revealed she had tried to speak up, but was silenced before she could reveal the full truth. Further digging revealed more disturbing details. A pharmacist Natalia visited died under suspicious circumstances. Financial records hinted at a broader conspiracy. Sidwell, cornered and broken, finally whispered a single name, Cole, suggesting a hidden mastermind was orchestrating everything from the shadows. In the aftermath, Sonny confronted Drew, demanding accountability. Drew admitted he had let revenge cloud his judgment, but vowed to do better. Meanwhile, Anna and her team expanded the investigation, determined to find the real culprit behind Natalia's murder. Scout became a symbol of integrity in Port Charles, a young girl who stood up against injustice when adults faltered. Her actions not only saved Sonny, but reignited the quest for truth in a case that was far from over. As the investigation continues, one thing is clear: Natalia's death was no accident, and the web of lies runs deeper than anyone expected. The fight for justice has only just begun, with Sonny, Anna, and their allies determined to expose every hidden player involved. Exciting developments are on the horizon for General Hospital fans, as beloved character Liesel Obrecht prepares to make her return to Port Charles. Her comeback promises intense drama, especially when she discovers the troubling situation surrounding her niece, Nina Reeves, and great-niece, Willow Tate. Sources indicate that Liesel Obrecht, portrayed by Kathleen Gotti, will be back on the scene this July. Her return is expected to create major waves, particularly in the lives of Nina and Willow. Currently, Nina is entangled in a web of manipulation, under the control of Drew Kane, who has been blackmailing her over her involvement in a ketamine scheme with Portia Robinson. Drew's threats have also put a strain on Willow, leaving Nina constantly on edge about losing her daughter. Liesel's arrival promises to be a much-needed source of comfort for Nina, who finds herself isolated with few trusted allies. Given Liesel's fierce loyalty to her family, she is likely to be appalled by Drew's behavior and may take action to protect Nina and Willow from his control. In addition to supporting Nina, Liesel will share heartwarming moments with young Rocco Falconeri. Rocco recently reached out to Liesel via email, prompting her return to Port Charles. Longtime fans will recall that Liesel once believed Rocco to be her grandson, which adds sentimental weight to their upcoming reunion. Young actor Fen Carr has teased charming scenes between Liesel and Rocco, noting how Rocco dresses up to impress his beloved Muti. However, the drama doesn't stop there. Liesel will also be keen to reconnect with Willow, whom she once saved by donating bone marrow during a critical leukemia battle. Unfortunately, Liesel may be dismayed to witness the distress Drew has inflicted on both Nina and Willow. Despite Drew's heroic past, including rescuing Liesel from captivity in Greece, his recent actions have turned him into a threat to Liesel's family. Observers speculate that Liesel will have no tolerance for Drew's manipulations. Given her ruthless history, including imprisoning and attempting to kill supervillain Peter August, Liesel is not one to stand by when her family is in peril. Insiders suggest that Liesel and Nina could team up to take Drew down. With Nina's financial resources and Liesel's cunning, they may plot to sever Drew's grip on Willow and perhaps drive him out of their lives entirely. Speculation even hints at the possibility of Liesel turning to unconventional methods, including psychological tactics, to neutralize Drew's influence. Adding to the intrigue, actress Kelly Thiebaud has been spotted in recent promotional material, sparking rumors about a Brit lookalike entering the storyline. While not portraying Britt Westbourne or her clone, the mysterious character bears a striking resemblance, capturing Jason Morgan's attention. This new development could tie into a broader plot involving mind control experiments, with whispers of Lysol potentially collaborating with Hank Dalton on secretive science projects. With Lysol Obrecht's return, General Hospital is poised for high-stakes drama and emotional family reunions. Fans can look forward to Lysol confronting the unsettling changes in Drew, standing up for Nina and Willow, and possibly engaging in shocking schemes to restore balance in her family's life. As old alliances shift and new conspiracies emerge, Port Charles is bracing for an unforgettable summer. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.